categorized local, regional, and national. So our local segment is important to us as well. And Jeb, I'm going to let you take it over because, man, Charlotte FC, let's just talk about it for a second. They have galvanized that team. A lot of different players have come, and really they look really good right now.
Yeah, Colin, thank you so much. I'm joined right now by Andrew Wiebe with MLS Season Pass. Andrew, thank you so much for making the time to join us. Very excited to have you on the show.
Yeah, I'm delighted to be here. I'm delighted to come to the Queen City. It is my first time for a game in Charlotte.
Wow.
I had the pleasure of being there last year. I know. Got to chat with Dino. Got to talk to Tim Ream and many, many others. But 6 straight wins in a row. And that's the time that Sunday Night Soccer comes to the Queen City in Charlotte. It could not have been written any better, boys. It is carved in the stars.
It's going to be a heck of a matchup, and New York Red Bulls, a team that Charlotte is trying to replicate a very similar run that the Red Bulls had last season. You mentioned yourself 6 straight wins. What is going right for the Crown right now?
Well, I think there's a level of chemistry in the attack that we haven't yet seen this year. And to be clear, goals have not been the issue, but in my opinion, goals and production and just sort of that little extra bit of connection between the team's best players has been kind of off and on. We saw Pep Biel fuel an MVP campaign for the first half season or so, and Patrick Agyemang was chipping in, and Wilfried Zaha was not exactly the Zaha that people expected. But I think one big change happened in the summer that sort of turned things on its head, and that is the sale of Agyemang to Derby County. Now, I am a card-carrying member, like one of the originals. I literally said this man's name when he was drafted. I announced it. I am Patrick Agyemang Hive till I die. But I just don't think that he and Wilfried Zaha, I don't know that they fit perfectly on the field together. It felt to me like both want to occupy sort of similar spaces in that left-hand channel. And I think Patrick is more of a guy who wants to get in behind and run the channel and play 1v1 rather than more of a traditional 9 that's in the box, waiting for service, giving those wingers the space and time wide to sort of operate the way they want. And that is exactly the way Idon Toklamati plays. Since Toklamati came in the lineup, I think it's been a completely different Charlotte FC side. They found a little bit more balance in the midfield to protect that back line, to get the record back where it should be in terms of back line play. And so when you have your attacking players clicking together, and then you have the midfield finally sort of living up to their standard and protecting the back line, you get 6 straight wins, and you get a feeling that maybe Charlotte over the last 7 games or so here can fight and claw their way into a position to maybe get more than just one home game in the playoffs.
Absolutely, and you've said it yourself. This is a extremely important matchup for the Crown. Obviously, New York Red Bulls right behind them. Idon Toklamati, a name that few of us were excited about last year. We were like, all right, sure, he's a new forward. Now he is taking the league by storm. Do you think this level of play from a young player like himself is sustainable for the next 6-7 games and then playoffs?
Yeah, listen, if we're talking about like a shorter time period, I think it is sustainable. It's just sort of the nature of the hot and cold that strikers run. Mm-hmm. If we're talking about like entire career at Lionel Messi level, XG, non-goal XG plus assisting, I don't think that that's realistic. Let's not hold Toklamati to that level of production. What I do think is consistent is the way that he plays and the runs that he makes. Mm-hmm. And I really think that is the key to what is happening here for him. He is putting himself in positions where his runs are predictable, the timing, the direction to his teammates, but are difficult to track for defenders. And if you're a winger and you're trying to create space and time and angles, what you really need is the guy there that understands when and where that ball is going to be delivered, what your preferences are, where it's most dangerous. And for Toklamati, that generally is that near post. He will spin to the back post sometimes, but I'm really impressed by his ability to sort of time, wait, be patient in the box, and then make the run at the right time. And then right now his finishing is just blowing away the models. So listen, is that sustainable for the next 2 years, his entire career? Come on, let's be honest, probably not. Can that stay for the next 7 games? That is very possible, and if he does that and Zaha keeps his form, and then either Abada or Vargas pick it up on the right-hand side, you've got something cooking, especially considering Pep Biel should be back in time for a playoff push.
Absolutely, and I think I speak for all Charlotte FC fans when I say it would be nice to have a goal scorer on another cheap contract. I mean, that's a dime a dozen in the MLS, so to get 2 back-to-back is pretty remarkable.
No doubt about it. I mean, look, give Zoran Krneta and this coaching staff credit. I've been talking about it a lot around this transfer window. You have to have succession plans within your club. And to get Pat and to have him play the way he did, I don't think anybody expected that. I don't think Charlotte FC would tell you that they expected after drafting him he would be an $8 million sale for them. But once he did grab the reins, once it was clear that the DP forwards that they signed did not work out, to go in and backfill with Toklamati, that's the way it should happen. To say, listen, Pat, we want you to thrive. We want you to succeed. We want you to score goals that get us to places that we want to go to compete for trophies. But we want there to come a time where our $0 investment pays off big time. And that time has come for Patrick Agyemang. And so then you have the player in the wings. You don't have to go into the transfer market. You don't have to buy a guy at an inflated price in the summer. You don't have to say, listen, you need to fit immediately. You have a player who's been in your system, who understands what's being asked for him, who has chemistry with his teammates, that can walk right in. So job well done by Charlotte on that front. Speaking of a job well done, Adelson Malanda, same $8 million. Brilliant, brilliant work by Zoran Krneta to keep him around for the rest of the season. But now it's time to do a little succession planning as well, because you cannot lose the man who's played every single minute for you in the winter and not have somebody ready to go for 2026.
Absolutely, and that brings me to my next point seamlessly. Hours ago, MLS transfer summer window wrapping up. All of us, I'm sure, refreshing Tom Bogert's X, incessantly trying to see what's going on. How would you grade Charlotte FC's window? Obviously, bringing in Harry Toffolo, spending a lot of money on a calendar, and then Archie Goodwin. Where would you? And then losing Malanda, but getting him for the rest of the season on loan. Where would you put that in your A to F rankings, and why?
I would say it's in the solidly B to B plus category. I don't think this was a window for Charlotte to go out and to make wholesale massive changes. It's probably not the right moment to go reinvest in terms of a DP player up top. You got to figure some things out in the winter, make sure that you get Biel and hold him long term. So I think B to B plus, and that's not a demerit on Charlotte or Zoran Krneta. It's more of a reflection of what this window needed to be, which is sort of like make the right strategic plays to improve your team. I think outside back has been an issue all year long. Nathan Byrne is healthy again, so you feel good about having him on the right side. Left back has been a question mark. I mean, they've dropped points in the last month or two because of the way they've had issues at left back. So get somebody more veteran in there in Toffolo, somebody who you know has played at a really high level. That's a great signing. And I honestly think the best move of the entire window might be the Malanda move, in the sense that you were able to not just get the number that you wanted for Malanda. Remember, this is a guy who was signed for less than $1 million from Rodez in League Two. You have now 8 times your initial investment and also gotten multiple high-level, best 11 caliber years out of the player. Like, if you look across the board, whether it's in terms of the here and now, okay, you have your best center back for the stretch run to try to go win something with this team. That's an A. Okay, you got $8 million for a less than $1 million player. That's an A++++. And now you've sent a signal to the rest of the world, to any player looking at Charlotte, not just in the terms of Patrick Agyemang, but now in Adelson Malanda. If you are a talented young player and you want to take a step forward in your career, Charlotte now looks like a pretty darn attractive place to do that. They will pay you money, they'll pay you what you deserve, you'll get playing time, and they will not stand in the way of a move long term for you. So I got to say, I mean, maybe I was grading too much on a curve on the B+. I think it's probably solidly in the B+A the more that I think about it. And now really the final grade comes down to what happens the rest of the season, guys. Like, you make moves in the summer to pay off in the fall. So what's going to happen in the fall?
Absolutely, and I think as much as fans were hoping for a Cincinnati or Colorado-esque level transfer window, you're right. We do have all the pieces. It's just about getting it into play in the right way. A team that might be disappointed with their summer transfer window are our friends up in New York.
Yes.
Play this weekend. They wanted Timo Werner. They've been rumored with Timo Werner for, it feels like, months now. Didn't happen. Yeah, honestly, I mean, ever since he was playing in Leipzig, it was like, oh, he's coming to MLS. So I want to ask you, missing out on a caliber player, yes, they have Eric Choupo-Moting, who has been playing out of his socks the last few weeks. So his goal against Philadelphia in the Open Cup was absolutely scintillating. Do you think missing out on that level player, do you think they have the roster to compete and reach the same heights they got to last season?
Well, remember, last season they didn't have Choupo-Moting. Last season they had something a little bit different, though, in Lewis Morgan. And I think that's the one thing, if you look at this Red Bulls roster, that they're missing right now. They need a guy to stretch the field. They need a guy when the ball turns over, when they get into those transition moments, when they draw other teams forward with their possession. And by the way, they're a better possession team this year than they've been probably in 15 years. They need that threat behind for Emil Forsberg to play to. So I was immensely disappointed, not just for the Red Bulls and their fans and certainly for that staff and the players who I'm sure would like to have a team of Werner in the building, but just for the rest of us, soccer fans, people in North America that want to see a club in New York go for it and be at the highest level, that the Werner deal did not come off, because in my opinion, he is the player that they're missing right now. If you think about that attack in terms of, okay, you have a string puller, you have your number 10 in Emil Forsberg, who I think is having an underrated season right now. Choupo-Moting has paid off, no doubt about it. He seems locked in. He is only getting better as he improves sort of the connections with the players around him and the system adapts to him. But where's that guy to stretch the lines? Where's the guy to provide more space for Emil Forsberg underneath, because defenses and back lines and midfields have to respect the speed in behind? Where's the guy that can get in behind him and let Choupo-Moting trail the play and make that run to the near post, or sort of wait and time his run in the right way to score goals? Mohamed Sofo's been very good. Mohamed Sofo's a 20-year-old. Like, I want to see a team in New York that went to MLS Cup last year go out and make the big move. And it's it's more than a two-man game here. It's not just New York Red Bulls saying we want to do it. It's got to be Timo Werner who wants to do it. You've got agents involved. You've got all sorts of interests involved. I'm so disappointed for the Red Bulls overall that they weren't able to get this over the line, because I've been screaming for this club to be more ambitious for years and years now. I felt that Emil Forsberg was a big step in the right direction. I felt that Choupo-Moting this offseason was a big step in the right direction, and they just needed to take another step to really join that upper echelon in the East. Right now, just like Charlotte, they're chasing that top six, and both teams have the same problem, which is that they cannot win on the road. And if you cannot win on the road and you go into the playoffs as a low seed, well, hate to break it to you, you're not going to be playing big games at home. So I wanted to see it happen. I'm disappointed it didn't. Maybe the winter brings something new, but at this point, that tease has been years in the making, guys. I can't get too excited until I see it actually happen.
Yes, a recipe that we've seen all too frequently, especially in the last few years. This was at one point the club that boasted Thierry Henry, Sasha Kljestan, Dax McCarty, and we watched them every weekend. So hopefully they can get there. But let's not take any credit away from Eric Choupo-Moting. His entire career, kind of after his mainstays and kind of at Stoke, he'd been a secondary option, a backup striker at legendary clubs like Bayern and PSG. This year, he's the main man, and he's been fantastic. What can the Charlotte FC defense do, which is very good? Christian Kalina is back to his goalkeeper of the year form. What do they need to do to keep him quiet and keep he and Emil Forsberg on different wavelengths?
I would start it with Forsberg, because, listen, the best way to starve a forward is to deny them service. And for the New York Red Bulls, the way that they generate service is generally to find the feet of Forsberg and to either get into transition moments, as I said, or let him dictate play in the final third. If you look at their games on the road, and it's jarring. I mean, it's absolutely unbelievable. I know you guys have experience with the same sort of split, but they are the best points per game home team in the entire league, the New York Red Bulls. They are the fifth worst team in the entire league on the road. And it's like plus 18 goal differential at home, minus 10 away. And the big difference, I think, is just it's not how much of the ball they have. It's sort of the attitude and the mindset when they do have it. There's something missing in terms of aggression, in terms of sort of trying to exert dominance away from home. And I know Sandro Schwartz sees it. I know he's frustrated by it. I know he's trying to fix it. And I think it all comes down to Emil Forsberg. Like, you've got to get this guy on the ball in high leverage spots, and you have to get either runners in front of him, or you have to find him in the final third in ways that he can actually get his head up and make decisions in that final play. Because right now it's just not happening on the road. So listen, get bodies around Choupo-Moting, bump him, don't let him have a clean run. Take away the moments that he has to drop in and build some sort of rapport with his midfielders. Really body him. But you are not going to stop him unless you stop Emil Forsberg. So I think for Charlotte, it's sort of a, hey, stop Forsberg and you're probably going to slow down Choupo-Moting and the rest of the Red Bulls.
Absolutely. And just one final question for you, Andrew. Thank you again so much for joining us. I will ask the question all Charlotte FC fans and fans of yours are wondering, where will you be for MLS Countdown? Where will you be in the Queen City? Where will you be celebrating the crown? It is a massive, I will tell you, and I've been to a lot of MLS stadiums, I've been to a lot of games. The atmosphere that you are in for is one in a million. I cannot wait for you to experience. So where can fans find you? MLS Countdown. What have you heard? What are you most excited to be a part of?
Well, I think first of all, I always am going to try to find the tailgate. Like that's just the way I work. So I'm going to go hit that tailgate pregame. I believe it's a couple blocks north of the stadium.
Yep, it's not that far. They would do the massive march to the stadium. I know the walk well.
Yep. So I'm going to go hit that. I'm trying to convince Sir Minty right now to give me a ride in his chariot, aka golf cart, aka whatever vehicle he can pick up. I'm trying to get him to give me a ride back from the tailgate to the stadium, because I'll have to get into the stadium to do some pregame hits and interviews and things of that nature. So we're definitely going to hit the tailgate. Got to do that. We will get a camera into the march, so we'll get that on our broadcast as well. I'm sad to report that I probably will not be able to hit the march just because of interviews. However, I am going to, at the final sort of little bit of countdown, I'm going to, I can't remember who's getting the coronation, but I'm going to find my way to the throne. And then from the throne, I'm going to climb my way into the stands. And then I'm going to make sure, this is my number one thing, I need to be a part of Pepa's in person. Not witnessing Pepa's, literally in the middle of the crowd for Pepa's, doing Pepa's with them. So those are my initial sort of, check the box bucket list things right now. And my DMs are always open. So anybody in Charlotte who's saying, wait a second, you got to do this, you're missing out on this, please holler at me, get in my DMs, let me know what I should do. I get there Saturday night, so I don't have as much time as I normally would, but I will make the absolute most of my time.
Well, I will tell you, as someone who's been to a few Charlotte FC games and experienced all of the things you just mentioned, I think that itinerary is pretty picture perfect. Andrew Wiebe, thank you so much for joining us. We seriously appreciate your time and hope that you have a great trip to the Queen City. Should be a great game.
I appreciate it. I'm looking forward to experiencing your city in person, boys. Have a great one.
All right, take it easy. Thank you again.
All right, so hey, that was a good interview. Jeb, don't leave yet. Put yourself back up there. You don't just get to put me right back on camera like that.
All right,
Charlotte.
I'll get it up here. Here we go.
Charlotte FC doing what they do, putting the fans through, I guess, a gauntlet of emotions the last couple of months. So
it's been exciting.
Yeah, I mean, what do you expect to happen then?
I think I'm with Andrew. I mean, I think his breakdown was fantastic. But ultimately, you have a team like New York who's awful away, and a team like Charlotte who's fantastic at home. I mean, I'm not a mathematician. I wouldn't say I'm particularly great at that, but that's a 2 + 2 = 4. I think Charlotte's going to do great.
Good.
I think they're red hot, and I think they're going to make the playoffs, and I think they're going to have some home games, hopefully. So, very exciting time to be a sports fan in the Queen City, I'll tell you what.
Yeah, Charlotte could use another playoff team. So
yes, it's about time.
All the thoughts are with that team. Let's go get them. Awesome, fantastic interview. Always love to have anybody from the MLS to sit down with us. Jeb does a great job at making sure that he gets those interviews and just getting the fervor of the fans. So